Oh my goodness, guys. It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 7 o'clock here on the West Coast where I'm at. And it's Thursday night. And I was kind of bored, man. I was going to watch the NFL draft, but, I was like, you know what? I'll watch the highlights. You know what I mean? All I care about is who the Bears pick. And also, if there's any like major moves or trades that get the headlines, you know what I mean? But honestly, it's not something I'm obsessed with this evening. Like I just wasn't feeling it, I didn't feel like sitting there for 3 hours watching the damn NFL draft. You know what I mean? Plus, we've been having a fun week. Haven't been really able to do much on YouTube, but we've been having a fun week outside of YouTube, which we'll talk about here tonight. Also, what else? What else was I going to tell you? Um, Monday, I wanted to do Multicade Mondays. We were going to do a big special about, if you guys remember my last live stream, it was going to be expensive but awesome multicades. I still plan on doing that show. I just couldn't do it Monday. I tell you what, man, 2025 is kicking my ass, between work and things I really gotta get caught up on life outside of work. Between all that, plus just spending a lot more time gaming and having a good time doing that, catching up on my backlogs, stuff like that. And also just lack of motivation too is part of it too. It's like this giant, what they call the black box. All the data goes in the black box and it spews out a result. There's like 90 factors that go into why YouTube videos don't happen. You can't just pin it on one reason, right? And all that kinds of stuff. Yes, Robocop was on normal difficulty. Such a nerd, Calvin. So what's funny is when it comes to Robocop Rogue City, so this is a console game that came out a couple years ago in 2023, and it's a really good one. Like they had the actors likenesses for the actors in the movie, as well as they got what's his name, the guy who played Robocop, to come back and do the voice of Robocop and have his likeness in the movie. And I did a live stream, about 2 weeks ago, where we played the first 2 hours of the game together, and I really enjoyed it. Like I really did. It was a lot of fun. It was a bloody good time. I could have live streamed the whole game, but I didn't. I just played it solo. I didn't know if you guys would be interested in that. What's funny is when I live streamed playing Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, that was a 2-hour live stream, and we were able to play the whole game from start to finish. And also, it's more of a retro game. It's a PlayStation 1, PS1 game. So if you think about PS1 games, in my opinion, PlayStation 1 games are retro games, guys. It's been like 20 years since this shit came out. You know what I'm saying? That stream did really, really well. I've told you guys before, when you catch my talking head streams, Like, one reason why I don't live stream games as much as I'd like to is because honestly, nobody watches it, right? And it takes a lot of time to set up and get cameras positioned and capture screens and then do all that stuff. And for it, the result of the stream not to do well, you're kind of like, wow, I put all that effort in. So, I'm not Tim the Tap Man. I'm not these other guys, Nick Merckx. I'm not Ninja Shroud, all these guys. I'm not an entertaining gaming streamer, right? So I don't, my streams don't do well. So, um, but like that Star Wars one did really, really well. I think a couple thousand people watched that, which was really, really cool. So maybe if I just pick more retro games, since my audience is mostly retro, maybe you guys will tune into those more versus the more modern stuff. I mean, you guys let me know in the chat. Like, do you guys mind seeing the modern stuff? Or is it all about the retro stuff? You guys let me know in the chat and start saying hi to people. J Rod says we could have played the whole game live. Yeah, that would have been cool. It took me 17 hours to beat Robocop. So if you're looking for a fun console game, modern console game that is fun and bloody, and it'll bring you all kinds of nostalgia because there's so much stuff from the movies. Because this game takes place in between Robocop 2 and Robocop 3. So the game ends right where Robocop 3 begins, if you guys remember the Robocop movies. Um, but yeah, it took 17 hours. So it wasn't that bad. And the whole reason I got the itch to play it was I remember when it came out in 2023, everyone said it was good. And then on top of that, it was on PlayStation Plus right now for free to play as part of your PlayStation Plus subscription. So downloaded it, started playing it. My wife got this for me. This was my Easter gift. We do very, very small presents Easter Sunday. We don't treat it like another Christmas. I know some people do, but this was this and some sugar-free candy because I'm a diabetic. This was my gift. She got me this hat. I have no idea where she got me this hat. I'll have to ask her later. The Super Multicade show sounds cool. Yeah, that should be really, really cool. Early this was crazy. What was that, Prince? I think I missed something. What's up, James? What's up, Jim? Calvin? What's up, Ricky? Elio's here. Ritual Dello is here. Talking about keep me posted on who the Bears grab at least, guys. If you guys are kind of watching the draft at the same stuff. B Kirby, what's up, fellas? JJ, great question. Because this is a chill stream. So if you guys have questions or stuff you want to talk about, throw it in the chat. I do have a couple topics. Did you get a Switch 2 P-Dubs Arcade Loft? Also, did you order 1 or 2 of the skee ball units? I did not get a Switch 2. I spent a lot of money the other day buying that Lord of the Rings pinball machine. So going to spend another $500 on a Nintendo Switch just wasn't appealing. Plus, I didn't want to deal with the stress. Like, you knew all the websites were going to crash. You knew orders would get canceled. Why even bother, right? Like, am I in that big of a rush? Trust me, I want a Switch 2, and I will definitely be buying a Switch 2 plus some of the accessories. I see lots of great potential for us to do community gaming together with the Nintendo Switch 2 if some of you out there pick that up as well. And a better experience than doing community gaming with the Switch 1, especially with the ability to have us all on the screen together, our screen shared, our camera shared, all that stuff. It'll be really cool content. But what's the rush? They'll have plenty coming in. So I'll get one. I'll get one eventually. I just won't be one of the first ones. When it comes to the skee ball, yes, to support New Wave Toys, I did pre-order the skee ball. I only ordered one. I think all in for me, including shipping to Arizona, was $112 using the discount code, which is a lot of money for a toy skee ball machine that only fits on your desk. But I wanted to support the company, and I wanted to get in. I thought 112 wasn't too bad for a collectible because it's more of a premium collectible. It's not like a $10 desktop made of plastic from, Walmart, And whatchamacallit, but what sucks now is I have now 4 products from New Wave Toys that I've pre-ordered that I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on the Black Hole Pinball, which is just a decoration. I'm waiting on the Golden Tee with the control panel, and I'm waiting on the Crystal Castles. Now, I only ordered the Crystal Castles Replicate because the Golden Tee control panel is supposed to work with the Crystal Castles, so you don't need to buy every control panel. And now I'm waiting for this too. So it might be a year or two before we see any of this stuff, right, guys? Oh, flying Robocop. Robocop, yeah. I have Robocop for Xbox, need to play it. It's fun. I guess they just announced that they're releasing a downloaded DLC for Robocop Rogue City. And maybe I'll play that. I'll reinstall the game and maybe I'll play this DLC when it comes out. But nothing wrong with continuing on that adventure. Now, what's interesting is the studio that made this game, Robocop Rogue City, they also made that Terminator Resistance game, which came out a while ago. Let's see here. Robocop came out in 2023. Terminator Resistance, I think, was 2018. And that was another game that I missed. And it plays a lot like Robocop, where it's a first person shooter, but it's in the future setting, and you actually get to fight the future war, have your laser guns fighting the Terminator robots in the future. This is some footage here of the DLC they got coming out. Look forward to checking this out whenever this drops. Should be fun to play. Yeah, dude. It's been so long. No, this is not a VR. This was on PlayStation 5, Mikey. PS5. These games are on PS5, they're on Xbox, they're also on PC Steam. Yeah, this is kind of how I felt, Scotty B. I mean, New Wave Toys has a lot of it's funny, I called you Scotty B, and you know what song came into my head? Scotty doesn't know. Oh, oh, oh. Scotty doesn't know. If you guys know, you know. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I just showed it. I just showed it, buddy. I just showed the DLC trailer. It's called RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business is the name of the DLC. So it's probably just a single mission storyline, who knows. But I guess these guys who made this game, they also made Terminator Resistance, which was back in like 2018. And this is interesting. So now I want to go. This is another game that I skipped, and I kind of, because I had such a good time playing Robocop. I'm going to go back and I'm going to play this one. I checked it out on PlayStation 5 and it wasn't on sale. They wanted $70. $70. And I was like, look, man, the game's been out for 7 years now. I'm not paying you $70 for a 7-year-old game. Come on. So I'll check and see how much it is on Xbox and how much it is on PC Steam. Hopefully it's cheaper on those platforms because I really don't want to pay $70 for a 7-year-old game. But yeah, this is the Terminator game. And I could tell just by watching the trailer that it plays a lot like the RoboCop game that I just played from, I think the studio is called Teyon, Teyon. I don't know, they were very cool games. I was just very impressed with RoboCop overall, and I enjoyed beating that game. It was a lot of fun to play, and the missions and stuff weren't long. Even some of the fetch quests that they sent you on to just, you do those just to like level up RoboCop, improve your armor, improve your damage. Like even those fetch quests were short and quick. It wasn't like, oh my god, like like an RPG game. Go all the way to the other ends of the map and grab this feather and bring it all the way the fuck back to me. You know what I mean? And it takes you like 45 minutes to do a simple fetch quest. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Officially Unofficials here. Make sure you guys join the Officially Unofficial Facebook group on YouTube. I don't know if any of my moderators here could share a link to that Facebook group in the live chat. That'd be great. It's my favorite Facebook group. We don't take shit from AtGames in that Facebook group, and that makes me happy. And speaking of AtGames, what the shit, man? What is going on with AtGames? Like, can you make it more obvious? I mean, now this is all opinion and conjecture based upon information that they've provided. My opinion, based upon information they've provided, cannot be taken as any form of libel, defamation, or slander. And my opinion is, what the shit, AtGames? What is going on with them and Magic Pixel? What is going on there? Hang on a second. I just gotta answer a message here really quick. Oh man. Hang on. Okay, sorry, just had that was an important message I had to answer. Um, what's going on with them and Magic Pixel, man? Why aren't they releasing these Magic Pixel games? They keep delaying them. Now they have been able to release a few Zen games this last month, but all the Magic Pixel games we were promised Black Belt Deluxe on a specific date delayed, and they just keep randomly throwing in an update saying, "Hey guys, just so you know, guess what? The Killer Instinct of Battletoads is still delayed. It's still delayed. What the shit is up with this, right?" Now, what's funny is they jumped the gun. Like other companies are just saying, "Hey, we're not shipping stuff to the United States anymore." Like pretty much every company, Evercade, Ambernick. The only one who's like eating like any tariff costs right now is Nintendo. But think about it, they're a monster. They're like one of the few companies that can absorb it. But like all these companies, like even in the home arcade space, they're all like, we're frozen. We're not doing anything at the moment. New Wave Toys, Numbskull, Buy Stuff Arcades is going to get hit shipping stuff from Canada to the US. Like everyone's got delays, right? No one has officially taken like price increases except for AtGames. AtGames jumped the shark. They're like, "Hey guys, effective May 1st, all the prices are going up. And here's your FOMO of the day. Buy everything now before the prices go up." And they're guaranteed to go up on May 1st. Now, I just read a news article, and this is why I told you I hate talking about this stuff because it's so fluid and it keeps changing, and the information's so outdated. Even by the time you watch this video in the morning, the information could be outdated. But like, I just read an article from like the New York Post or something that said, "Hey, man, United States and China are working on a tariff deal. China tariffs might only end up being 10%. Okay, so if that's the case, is AtGames going to lower their prices? Because they've already put the new prices on the website. Are they going to lower their prices if the tariff is far less than what they thought it would be? Or are these prices just going to stick around? In my personal opinion, I think those prices are going to stick around. I find it very confusing that all the Mad Little Pixel stuff is being delayed as well, because this is stuff that should have been released this week as well as months ago. Yet it's not come out yet. And don't you find it funny that the price increases are on May 1st? Would it shock any of you if right after May 1st, all of a sudden, "Hey guys, Black Belt Deluxe, it's past QA. We're going to release it at a higher price tag with the price increase. Hey guys, it's after May 1st. And guess what? Guess what? Battletoads and Killer Instinct and the whole rare pack, it's ready to go. It's past QA. We're going to release it." What's funny is in their most recent post, they even photoshopped out the price tag, which would say $35 on the tile. Like in one of their most recent posts, you know how like up here in the corner, it has the little price number. One of their most recent Facebook posts, they photoshopped it out. They had the tile for For Sea of Thieves, the rare pack, Battletoads Killer Instinct, but the dollar amount disappeared. They're like, "Hey guys, just so you know, it's still delayed." So watch it comes out. Now, those of you who already paid for the pack when Sea of Thieves came out, I mean, a lot of you are probably like, "Oh well, I already paid for it. I'm good," and you're good. But there were a lot of us, myself included, who refused to buy the pack because only one game was ready with the promise the other two games would come. That pack was sold what? Back in November, December? Here we are, April. It'll be May, June by the time that pack comes out. You're talking 6, 7 months. I don't want to, I don't want to, I'm not AtGames Kickstarter company to help them finance making these pinball packs. You finance them, you release them when they're ready, and if they look cool, then we'll buy them and download them onto our machines. That's the way I feel about it. Like the game, if I'm going to pay you for it, the game needs to be ready. It's not like it's an arcade machine or something. We're talking about digital software here, right? So yeah, the people who bought it early, I'm sure a lot of them will be like, ha 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 ha, you guys have to pay more. You guys have to pay more whenever it does come out. But I don't feel bad about it because I feel like I stuck to my principles, my guns, and all that kinds of stuff. Does that make sense, guys? So, and also I didn't have to wait 6 months for my money to collect interest in their bank account, waiting for these games to be released. Officially Unofficial came in with a monster, holy smokes, $20 super chat.
Oh, yeah.
A super chat for no other reason than to give P-Dub some love and say AtGames sucks with the stuff they are doing. That is true. Now, for those of you curious about VPX standalone, what I love is when people start talking about VPX standalone, the drama channels who have no idea how this stuff works immediately started crying and complaining and saying it's gonna suck, it's gonna be a bad experience, you can't run VPX on this hardware, not knowing anything about anything, right? And sure enough, and then also too, because it's been several months of that community's hard work testing, we have figured out a lot of stuff. Now, what's funny is they're like, "Oh, it's not out yet. They didn't release that community project yet. It must be shit. They must all be a bunch of frauds getting you all hyped up, thinking that you can't do that on your AtGames pinball machine." Guys, that team has tested 500 some games, and they through that testing, big shout out to everyone involved, because my efforts in it were minimal at the beginning. Like I just presented the information, I did some quick testing, make sure it works, help Nix get the word out, and that's it. Like, and also with my own life and schedule, I don't have capacity to sit there testing VPX games. I really don't. But that's why we have a community. And the community jumped on board, volunteered, testing. There are now several hundred games that they have verified running at 60 frames per second. So when they're going to end up releasing it anyway, even though AtGames wants to charge people $100 to turn on advanced features. There are those of us like me who got the machines before that happened, so AtGames can't charge me. I just feel bad for the new customers who are going to have to pay for something that should be free to them. But they are going to end up releasing that mod hopefully soon. They're developing a cool, from what I last understood, website and process that'll be make it so kindergarten simple. Any AtGames 4K pinball owner will be able to hop in there, understand it, and get what they need put on their thumb drive in order to play these games. And also, they've had help too with actual people in the VPX community have spoken with Nix and worked with Nix and stuff. Yes, it's a table wizard, which makes it pretty easy for everyone. So yeah, 660 tables tested, several hundred verified can run 60 frames per second on the AtGames hardware, which means they're going to run pretty much what they would run on your PC. So they'll be a good experience to play. You'll be able to add, and those will be the ones that I want to play. Like what's really cool is, the community put together this work and you're going to have this giant list and you're going to see, okay, these games ran at 30 frames. They're just too intense for this machine. Although 30 frames could be playable. But let's just say there'll be games like, oh my God, this game ran at 10 frames. Don't even waste your time with it. Just work off that list of the games. And if there's a couple hundred of them, that's a shit ton of pinball, people. If you complain about a couple hundred games that you could play for free, like, what is wrong with you? It will take you hundreds and hundreds of hours to play all those games as well as master them. Not just turn it on and play it once, but to actually play those games and master them. That alone will keep you busy for the rest of the time you own your Legends Pinball 4K. So yeah, there you go. You underestimate my stupidity. Nick's told me when it's ready to go, he'll ask me to film a tutorial video on how to do it. And I'm sure other people will do it as well because other content creators have been working with that wizard installer and they've also been working with testing tables. So I'm not mad about that. The more tutorials, the better because it just helps get the word out because YouTube channels can only reach so far. And many YouTube channels reach further than just a single YouTube channel. You know what I mean? I don't even need my OTG anymore. There you go. And this is the point. Now, if you want to have like all the VPX games and future pinball games and all that shit, like every game that every publisher has ever released, and you wanted to be able to play all of those games, we're talking a few thousand games on your pinball machine, then yeah, you're going to need to get a gaming PC and you're going to have to set it up on PC and run it through the OTG mode that way. But if you're looking for a couple hundred games that run great on the AtGames hardware and a couple hundred games is a shit ton of pinball with minimal effort needed to set up, the VPX standalone is where it's at. Am I right, guys? And also, let's be honest, guys, some people can't afford or don't have gaming PCs. I mean, not everyone is as blessed as everyone else. They might not have them. So, but they can afford a thumb drive, they can afford a flash drive. So, this could be a good solution for those folks as well. And keep in mind, too, if tariffs being high, cost of PCs, computers, laptops, all that shit's going to go up this year as well. What up, Vegas? Yeah, make sure you guys go to Video Game Vegas on YouTube. He's got several videos about the issues he's had with his 4K pinball machine and AtGames offline mode. You definitely want to check out those videos and educate yourself. And that's the thing too, Gamer Fridge. Thanks so much. You're gonna have to get a PC, and it's a lot of work. You got to roll up the sleeves. It took me a long time to learn what I was doing to get stuff set up on that PC that's down there underneath my high def. And because everything is set up for that machine, I still haven't taken that machine downstairs and plugged it into the AtGames 4K. Like this is all set up, ready to go, and I don't want to dick with it because it took forever, right? So my goal, of course, since I have the 4K, is I'm just going to put VPX. I'm going to do standalone there because I thought about moving that PC downstairs by that pinball machine and all that, and then possibly selling this. But guess what? This has got the buy stuff back box. It's got solenoids. This thing's got artwork on it. It's fully pimped out. And odds are this one might last longer than the 4K. Especially because I'm just running my PC on it, right? I'm not like running AtGame shit. So yeah, we'll probably odds are I'll end up keeping that longer than the 4K. One day I might just say, AtGames, I'm just tired of your crap and just sell it. Okay, so that's what's going on there with AtGames. It cracks me up. All these what do you call them? Pinball pack delays that might be fixed by May 1st. just in time for the price increases, right, guys? Sometimes this happens, right? So, for instance, do you know what home arcade purchase I regret? I regret getting rid of the arcade one up Golden Tee, the first generation Golden Tee, because I sold it, took that couple $100 and put it towards the new one, the Golden Tee XL, which was like $600. I think I sold the original for like 200, 250, and I put that towards the XL because I was like, XL, we want XL machines, blah, blah, blah. And the trackball was garbage and the gameplay sucked. And they even had to do a quick patch firmware after the product was released to try and fix the gameplay. And none of the trackballs were lubricated. And my machine completely died. And I'm pretty sure it was the voltage board that is hidden behind the monitor. It's inside the monitor case because that is the only part on that machine that did not get replaced. And because they sent me everything. They sent me PCBs. They damn near sent me a whole new machine, and it just wouldn't turn on anymore. And I'm pretty sure the monitor, and I'm pretty sure that that case, because even when they sent me a replacement monitor, you have to plug it into that monitor case, which had that. It's like a little voltage power board thing. I'm pretty sure that that's what crapped out. It's the only thing that wasn't replaced, and it never worked. And it's been in my garage ever since. It feels like $600 wasted. But eventually I'm gonna mod it and do some kind of trackball arcade mod with that Golden Tee cabinet. So eventually it'll turn out okay. Because even if it was a working machine, odds are I would have modded it in the future as well, right? So just sucks. Rock and roll. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Yeah, we're going to. Hey, Carl, what's up? Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about that Lord of the Rings pinball machine purchase that I just made. This stuff cracks me up. The tariffs on digital goods. The only way it makes sense is when a company can say, "Look, guys, there's tariffs. Our costs are going up, and we have to we can't just put all the increases on hardware. We got to kind of spread it out." Otherwise you'll never buy our hardware, but we can sprinkle and spread it out, right? That's like the only way it makes sense for software is if they have to spread it out. But I don't know. At games, either they're very proactive or they're really jumping the gun on these increases, right? Compared to the other companies that have just said, hold on, we're going to take a breath here. We're going to see what happens, see what negotiations take place. And hell, like I told you guys, I read an article today that said China might only get 10% tariff. Like it might go all the way back down to 10%. But then again, by tomorrow, there could be a news article saying they've negotiated and it's 60%. You know what I mean? Until they figure out something official, it's all up in the air, right? It's all up in the air. Uh, Twisted Chris got an amazing boutique V pin. Yep. That's an expensive V pin, though. Luckily, he got it. I think he got it secondhand, so he was able to save a lot of money. All that kind of stuff. He's the best at what he does, and what he does best is roasting at games. Who are you talking about, Cyan? Who are you talking about? Marty McFly's here. What's up, Marty? Good to see you. Chris C finally replaced his Golden Tee monitor. There you go. Gen X Retro's here. What's going on? Good to see you, man. Thanks for the wave in the live chat. You know who I'm talking about? Is it me? I mean, I roast at games. I was roasting at games before roasting at games got cool. Hell, I was roasting Arcade One Up before roasting Arcade One Up got cool. That's what happens. Oh my god, get out of here. All right, I'll post it. Thank you. Jeez. So, where are we at? Okay, I wanted to talk about I did pick up a new pinball machine. I picked up a Lord of the Rings pinball machine. I got it secondhand, of course, from a guy selling his machine. And I got some photos here for you. Once you guys check it out, uh, let's go ahead and make these a little bit bigger for you guys. So this game came out. Thanks so much. I'm glad you liked my hat, Doug. This is a Stern pinball machine. It came out back in 2003. This is their old hardware in here with the dot matrix DMD, um, LED DMD. And also, you know how you've heard people talk about their spike systems like Spike 1, Spike 2. This is even before Spike. I think it was called water something. Could be white water. No bullshit. It could be something like that. Something water, I think, was the name of like the PCBs and the system that they used and all that kinds of stuff. But you know, back then, pinball machines didn't have Wi-Fi, internet access, all that kinds of shit back in 2003. So the machine was shipped ready to go with its, 1.0 code. If it ever needed an update, people would have to do it via USB and all that kinds of stuff. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. So how many of you guys are familiar? Have you played it? Give me a 1. If you've never played it, give me a 2 in the chat. Definitely want to know your guys' opinion. I'll tell you the reasons why I bought this as we kind of get in here. One thing about this game compared to a lot of other Sterns, especially Sterns today don't feel, in my opinion, like you're getting your money's worth like you used to. Does that make sense? Like when I take a look at this machine that was released 22 years ago, there is so much more going on with this machine with all the toys and the mechs and everything, the design compared to what they do today. And maybe it's because costs are higher today to manufacture, so they have to kind of dumb things down. But man, is this thing incredible. Here's your ball rog. The ball rog moves. The ball rog is like it's kind of like a bash toy. It is a bash toy, actually. So he starts facing the bumpers and then he'll turn and face you and he lights up and he roars and all that stuff. And you have to bash him a few times. So it's pretty cool. Up here is the Paths of the Dead. So the ball will kick up, go up here, and then the ball rolls down this upper play field and it collects souls. One of the table goals is collecting a certain number of souls. Right back here is one of the coolest parts in the game is where you actually have to shoot the ball. So when the ball rog is out of the way, you got to shoot the ball straight up the middle, up the ramp, and there's a magnet inside of the ring. And if it catches the ball, and if it catches the ball right here, the ball will be like floating in midair. And whatever mode or game mode is lit, it will become activated, right? And it's really cool. So it'll be like the ring wraith mode or the dwarf mode or stuff like that, right? Oh man, hang on. My stuff's in the wrong order. Okay. So here's the other side of the machine. Now it says Lord of the Rings on both sides. Big shout out to Geo. His picture's in here for some reason. I must have re-downloaded it. So take a look at the right side. On the right-hand side, you have the elves. It looks like an army of elves with kind of like the gold color. And up here, you can kind of see you have the Tower of Barad-dûr. So this is Sauron's tower. There's the Eye of Sauron. Eye, lidless, wreathed in flame, right? And then on the left-hand side, you have the same artwork, but it's blue, right? And again, you have the army of elves with the orcs coming. This is the opening battle on the slopes of Mount Doom, where they fought for the freedom of Middle Earth, right? So right here. So, I mean, the artwork, honestly, on the sides ain't that great. Ain't that great. But the pinball machine, the pinball machine's incredible. Now, on the left-hand side, though, you have the Tower of Orthanc. So this is Saruman's tower, Saruman the White Wizard, for those of you who've seen the movies, played by Christopher Lee. And remember, it was the union of the two towers. This is probably one of the coolest features in the game. Again, is when you go up the ramp and you go in the hole and it catches the ball, and you have the warg battle, the War of the Ents, the attack of Shelob, the spider, destroy the Witch King, where you actually got to cut the Witch King's head off, Gandalf versus Saruman, and all these modes are played out on the DMD, and it's really cool. and escape the ring wraiths and stuff. So if you get it in there, it'll turn on the mode. It's one of the coolest things, and then it'll spit the ball back out. It's like really, really awesome. And also, what's really, really cool is pretty much every single character from the movies are somewhere on this table. You'll notice right here, here's the Tower of Orthanc. So this is Saruman's tower right here, which is really, really cool. Gandalf again, he was imprisoned up here until the great eagle Gwahir came and rescued him and flew him away to Frodo in Rivendell. And there, right there, is Saruman. There's action figures everywhere. You have Gandalf up here as well, Gandalf action figure. Now, over here on the right-hand side, you'll notice you have a sword. This is Sting. Kind of reminds you what they have on Deadpool Pro, right? And you have the action figures for, you have Aragorn. You have a couple of the orcs. This is, what's his name? The leader of the orcs who kills Boromir, the Uruk-hai. I think his name starts with an L. Could be Lurtz, I think. It might be Lurtz. And then right here, you have your hobbits. You got Frodo, Sam, and you have Gollum right here as well, sitting on top of the right slingshot. So this is really cool. The balls will go up the ramp, come down here, and you'll notice there's a white peg here, and the balls get locked in. That contraption shuts, locks the balls in for multi-ball, which is really, really cool. Here's the front of the machine that I bought. I think they put these stickers on here because they definitely look out of place. I'm going to end up peeling these off and cleaning this up because I think it was probably just the quarters and that's it. I don't think these were on here. I think they put them on here. They look out of place, so I'm probably going to peel those off, clean it up. Start button, plunger, pretty basic stuff, right? Now, here is the actual playfield. And as you can see here, man, this is where you're getting your money's worth with this pinball machine, right? So the way this game works, if you guys have never played Lord of the Rings pinball before, it has, just like every pinball game out there, there are a ton of things that you have to do or accomplish. So, for instance, one of the biggest goals of the game is to create or collect the Fellowship of the Ring, which is all 9 members of the Fellowship: Pippin, Merry, Sam, Aragorn, Frodo, Gandalf, Legolas, Gimli, and Boromir. And you'll notice too that their lights and everything and their symbols are right above their character picture, which is really, really cool. Now, what happens is during the game, you're going to take shots. And every single shot, such as if you land it here, this red thing says Gimli. If you shoot it up here, it'll say like Legolas or something, right? If you get it up this ramp here, I think this says Aragorn, right? Sorry, these are kind of blurry pictures from zoomed out point of view. So what happens is every single shot unlocks a character, right? And it'll light up and you'll get a video animation every time you hit a shot, and it's the actual movie quotes from the actors and the actual music from the game all in the movie. So it'll be like, if you hit the Gimli shot, you'll hear him go, "You have my axe." If you hit the Legolas shot, you hear the machine go, "You have my bow." You have my sword, right? Boromir's got one of the coolest ways. A lot of the characters, you have to hit certain shots in order to capture the character. Boromir is you have to hit the bumpers. I'm sorry, you have to hit the pop bumpers a certain amount of times. I think it's like 20 pops, and it'll unlock Boromir, and you'll get Boromir, right? But anyway, so once you get all 9 guys, it then unlocks Fellowship Multi-Ball, which is a 4-ball multi-ball with massive jackpots, right? And jackpots are just hitting all the lit lanes, right? And it's really, really cool. And then it starts all over again. And that's just one aspect of the game, right? You'll notice that every single shot has multiple things that it can get you. So, like the first time you hit the shot up here by the Witch King, because that's the Witch King up here on his horse. So, for instance, you'll notice there's 4 things right here. It says Aragorn, man, dwarf, elf. So, the first time you hit this shot, you'll unlock Aragorn. The second time you hit this shot, you'll collect a ring of man. Remember, 9 rings for mortal men who are doomed to die. So, there's 9 men rings you have to collect. Dwarf right here. You have to collect 7 dwarf rings hitting certain shots. And then elf, 3. Remember, 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, right? And those rings light up down here, which is really, really cool. So if you collect all 3 elf rings, these light up. If you collect all the 7 dwarf, if you collect all 9 men, these all light up. And once you light them all, then you unlock Ring Frenzy, which is really, really cool. Again, jackpots galore, multi-ball, all that kinds of shit, right? There are so many different paths you can go. Right here's the Palantir. This lights up. That's that magic talking crystal ball. When you shoot something here in the chute, it then pops up into the ramp. And there are hidden paths back here. Not only do you have in the back of the table, not only do you, oh, there's Lurtz. So this must just be a regular orc right here then, because I think that's Lurtz right there. So not only is the Tower of Orthanc right here, which is how you get up to the paths of the dead, because the ball will travel up the tower, spit out the tower, and come down the paths of the dead. But if you get the ball back here and goes back here, then you hit the Tower of Barad-dûr, which is this giant plastic tower right here. That's Sauron's tower. Now, if you hit his tower 5 times, every time you hit his tower, it moves, right? And then kind of like you guys love Medieval Madness, right? You guys love when you kill the castle and the castle falls over. So like when you hit it like I think it's 5 times, the tower folds down and collapses and you've defeated the tower, right? Like it's really cool that you have this animatronic. You have this guy, which he moves back and forth here. You have this awesome contraption. You have another mech right here. There's so much stuff in this game, and like nowadays on a Stern pinball machine, I don't feel you get that many mechs and toys and stuff on the table. Am I right, guys? I don't think you do. Um, uh, let's take a look. So again, this is the back glass. Now I'm going to pull up a video here for you guys. I'm going to show you something really cool. So one thing you can do with these pinball machines, the older Sterns, is if you guys remember, though, they all came with the red LED DMDs. Now, what's really, really cool is they have mods out there where we can get a colored DMD, a colored DMD. So I'm going to show you a video of that and what I plan on doing with this machine. But let's take a look. Take a look at that, just like the movie poster, right? What a beautiful back glass. If you guys were in Lord of the Rings, would you be a man, an elf, a dwarf? Would you be a wizard? Would you be a ring wraith? What would you guys be? Like, or at least tell me who your favorite character was in the Lord of the Rings. So, yeah, that back glass is beautiful. So the back glass is going to stay. We're going to keep that back glass the way it is. And we're going to take this orange reddish DMD. We're probably going to colorize that and probably put like new little speaker grills here, make that look a little bit better. But for the most part, we're keeping it stock. One other thing is on mine right here, this card is a little worn, which you can expect, 20 some year old pinball machine. So, but they have replacement cards I could buy online from aftermarket guys, and I could peel this off and put one on here that's not as torn up from the ball probably flying over and hitting it, or people putting their who knows what on it, just age, even could be sun or something like that. But take a look at the lanes right here. It's pretty good. Think about this, guys. This is a 23-year-old machine. And look at how nice this looks. Prior owners, I mean, this machine was shopped before I bought it, which means they put new rubbers on and they had it all cleaned up and they thoroughly tested it. I even did where if you go, one thing you should do when you buy a pinball machine is go into the service settings and look for all their different what do we call them, guys? Audits or diagnostic testing, right? Like test the speakers. It'll have a speaker test the lights. It'll have that. And that way you can kind of identify, especially on these older machines, like, do I have a light bulb out? Is there a speaker that's gone bad? Is there a mech that's not working? There's usually those kind of diagnostic tests, right? So I ran all the tests while I was at the guy's house and it was fine. everything was working. I mean, this machine was recently shopped out, waxed and rubbered and cleaned up, and anything that was broken was replaced. And so, yeah, I mean, look at how it damn near looks new out of the box, doesn't it? I mean, minus some wear and tear over here, right? Pretty impressive, right? There are flippers that have some there's some flipper graphics I can get, little stickers to put on here that look like the sword of Narsil, which is Aragorn's sword, or I could get Sting, which is Frodo's sword, and you could put them on top of the flipper thing. I'll probably do that. You'll notice one thing I'm desperately missing here: art blades, right? Inside art. Once I put that in like Venom, and when I bought Labyrinth, and Labyrinth already has the art in here, like I don't like pinball machines not to have art on the inside walls, because it helps it make it look so much better if there's artwork here versus a black wall. So aftermarket people sell art blades to go here. So I'm definitely going to be buying those and sticking it in here as well. And I'll probably show you guys the updates I make to this machine as we go. Here's a better shot here where you can see the Witch King. It's really cool when you do the Witch King battle and you got to get the ball up this ramp here to kill the Witch King. No, he's not fallen over or anything. Some of the characters are in those positions, and I'm guessing it's for whatever reasons when they designed it, kind of like how Saruman back here. Saruman is kind of like leaning forward. I think it's the angle of the photo. Makes it look like he's leaning, but trust me, he's not broken. That's the way he's supposed to be. And all the different lights up here. Here's that tower and the Urkai in the back corner and everything. Really cool stuff, man. And of course, on the pop bumpers, they have the lettering, you know, in Black Speech, the speech of Mordor, you know, one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all in the darkness bind them, here in the land of Mordor where shadows lie. And yeah, that's about it. Those are the photos I had. Um, Pretty cool machine, huh? Um, and all that kinds of stuff. He's such a proud father. Saw someone put gold leg bolts in, look nice. Yeah, I've seen a couple other people. They powder coated. You see how this has like that gold trim. They kind of powder coated the side rails and the lock bar. I've seen that as well, and the legs. So I could go that route if I want. This is definitely going to be a machine I'm going to keep for years to come. Um, I mean, it's already pretty old. I mean, it's 23 years old. According to the audit history, check this out. How many times do you think this machine has been played in 22 years? That's right. Oh, let's correct that. The machine was Stern released this game in 2003, but the manufacturing date on the back of my machine has a 2005 sticker. Stern built 5,000 of these machines. This machine was a hot seller for them to do that big of a run of pinball machines back then. 5,000 5,000 of these machines. So it's not like it's a rare machine to find these days. It's such a good game and it's such a cool game. I don't ever see it come up for sale in my local area. Yeah, I've always seen it on Pinside, but I'm not going to pay some guy in Connecticut, you know, $10,000 for a pinball machine that I hope is cool by the time it arrives, right? I wanted to find one local that I could vet, right? So this thing is 20 years old. Guess how many plays? If anyone guesses anywhere close, I'll do I'll do a $25 Amazon gift card if someone can guess really, really close. Guys, 20 years. Come on, 89. Come on, it's been played more than that. It's been played way more than that, guys. Nope. 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 It's somewhere between 1 and 10,000 plays. How about that, guys? 1 and 10,000 plays. I'm loving these guesses. Guys, you really gotta go higher. All right, Tyndale. Tyndale is the closest. This machine has 7,700 plays on it over the last 20 years, which makes me think at some point it could have been inside, a pinball arcade, for it to get that much use. Because the guy who I bought it from wasn't the original owner either. He bought it from a guy who wasn't the original owner either. So I'm probably the fourth person to own this machine. But 7,700 plays in 20 years, and everything works perfect. You would be worried about the mechs and stuff breaking down. But again, like I said, this machine was recently serviced, shopped out, and everything works. Everything works. I'm very excited about it. Looks great. 70, yeah, it's around 7,700. So Tyndale, do me a favor, send me an email, pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com with your email, and I'll email you a $25 Amazon gift card. How about a shout out and congrats to Tyndale in the live chat? He was the closest, so I just pulled the plug right there. So there you go. James, you should have just bet $1 like wheel what is that game called? Um the pricing game. What is that called? You know what I'm talking about. The Price is Right. There you go. Okay, let's find the color DMD. So this is what we want to do. Color DMD. Oh yeah. So instead of the DMD being the red color, they have the mods where you can get the DMD and you can get it in you can get it colorized. There's also a flash drive. I got to update the firmware in order to make all this work. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I was doing the research today on it. Now take a look right here. This is a color LED. This is a color LED that I could buy aftermarket. And this looks pretty cool because it still has kind of the dots, right? It still has the dots. All right, now let's compare it. I could change and get the LCD instead. And what's interesting about this is you'll notice on here, guys, you'll notice, what do you notice? Do you see a whole bunch of dots with the LCD? Because no, it's not an LED panel. But what do you see here that you didn't see on the other one? You see a lot of pixel smoothing, right? Like all the graphics are kind of smoothed over, right? With the software. So the question is, and guys, this is where I need your help. What do you think looks better? Do you guys think that because we're going to do this together, guys. Do you guys think the LCD looks better? Everything's smoother, but again, it's got that pixel smoothing. So you see that right there? Okay, see how smooth that is? Okay, now let's go back and let's go and take a look at the LED. And I don't know why, but guys, I'm kind of feeling the LED. You know what I mean? With the dots. Like I'm kind of feeling it. Like the LCD. Now keep in mind the difference in price between the LED and the LCD is only $40. It's only $40, but there's something about this when I'm looking at this, I kind of like the pixelated graphics. You know what I'm saying? I kind of prefer the LED. Big shout out to Color DMD. They make this for a bunch of pinball games. But take a look at that. Let's see if we can find the ball rog because we saw the ball rog on the other one. Yeah, look at that. See, did you see? You could kind of see him real quick. There's your pixelated ball rog, right? Let's do that one more time. Here's your pixelated ball rog right there. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back one more time. Let's just take another look. Let's take another look. And where is our? Because I definitely want to do this mod. I really want to have the color DMD on this. And also, if I do this and I'm successful at it, guys, did you know that they have this same kind of mod for my Super Mario Brothers Mushroom World pinball machine downstairs, which still has the orange red DMD as well. I could change that to a color DMD too. It just costs money, but all right, guys, do me a favor in the live chat. Do you like it pixelated or do you like it like this with like it smoothed over? If you like it pixelated, give me a 1 for the LED and give me a 2 if you'd rather have the LCD. Be honest, guys, be honest. I'm leaning, just me personally, I'm leaning towards the LED. And I was showing this to my wife, and my wife said she liked the LCD more. And I said, why? And she said, because she could read it better. And I was like, well, it's not about reading, it's about looking. Look at the ones coming in. Oh, you guys are awesome, man. Yeah, but you're pretty far away, like 4 to 6 feet away. Yeah, man. Like I can read it just fine as a D as a with the dots. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're gonna tell her. You lose, Melissa. And it'll feel more authentic to the original gameplay. I think so too, because I think this is just too smooth. You know what I mean? The LCD. I just think it's too smooth. Now, here's what's funny. This is how we feel in our chat right now, right? This is how we feel as a team. You go and look at Pinside, which is the big pinball forum. I went to Pinside, looked at Lord of the Rings. I found the thread where people were talking. Someone put a thread on Pinside. They said, Lord of the Rings pinball, should I get the LED or the LCD? And do you know on Pinside, they overwhelmingly voted for the LCD. They'd rather have that than the LED and the pixelation. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what they're smoking over there because the LED looks more true to the original, but adds the color to make it better. That's where I'm at with that. What a bunch of losers. What do real pinball pinheads know that we don't know, right, guys? In our community with our arcade one ups. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. Did I put up a YouTube short of gameplay? No, I just did a YouTube short of like a tour of the table. I'm pretty proud of this purchase. It was a lot of money. Keep in mind this pinball machine goes for on Pinside right now, the average market value for this machine, if you check Pinside, um, it says the range is 9 to 11,000. The average unit sold that was reported to Pinside over the last 24 months was 9,500, which is pretty much the cost of a brand new machine if you think about it. When this machine was originally released back in 2003 to 2005, guys, did you know this machine was only 3,500 bucks, something like that? That's how much pinball was back then. Now here we are 20 years later, and a pinball machine like this is this machine today would probably be brand new. Let's just say it's brand new from Stern. Let's say they re-release this game. It'll probably be that 13,000 to get with all this shit in it, right? All these mechs and toys, and let's assume the LCD screen and the Stern Insider connected and those table goals and all that stuff, right? So this machine has gone up in price. Now there are machines that go down in price. This machine has gone up big time in price. I'll be happy to let you guys know that the current Pinside values are 9 to like 11,000. I paid less than that. So I did get a deal compared to current market value, but don't get me wrong, this was a lot of money. This was a big purchase. And one of the reasons why I decided to make this purchase is kind of the same reason my buddy Mike bought his Jurassic Park machine is looking ahead and forecasting 2025. I really see myself picking up a few big ticket items. There's a couple multicades I want to add, new multicades, and we're not talking AtGames stuff. There's a couple new multicades I want to add. So again, I'm trying to get rid of some old multicades to add some new ones. So there's a couple new multicades I want to add. on top of having the polycade, because I really want to start getting back to making content about that stuff. And then also, like, I really don't see myself buying 10 tons of shit this year, right? I really don't I really don't see myself buying 10 tons of shit this year. Like, I probably now have spent as much money as I did last year on this hobby in one purchase. But also, what was I gonna say? Um, I don't see myself buying like 20, 30 things. You know what I mean? Yeah, good multicades. All that kinds of stuff. Now, also too, let's keep in mind that in the last 6 years, I usually buy 1 real pinball machine a year. If you guys think about it, like 1 real pinball machine a year I've added to my collection in the last 6 years. Because I think I bought my Mario Brothers before I had my YouTube channel, I think? Or did I buy it? I think I was only like 2 months into doing YouTube when I bought my Mario Brothers. Yeah, but I buy like 1 new pinball machine a year. I don't go crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I think I could afford to buy several new pins, but and I'm not talking 17 like my buddy Justin Console kits, holy shit. But I could probably pick up several, but I just don't wanna do that, you know what I mean? So, 1 new machine a year I think is okay. I think it's okay. Nikki's getting the, Evil Dead, and you're gonna get D&D or Jaw soon. So, the plan is this. On one side of the room, here's the plan. I wanna have, because after playing and going to pinball arcades and conventions and stuff, and even games I played on Pinball FX, not Pinball FX, on VPX, which, you end up saying, "Hey, this was a real table in real life, and so I made a VPX version after, like, all the pinball I've been playing." I was talking to my buddy Mike. Here he is. Everyone say hi to Mike. Here's what I was saying to Mike. I was like, "In my pinball room, I wanna have pinballs on both sides, but I wanna have 2 themes, 2 running themes." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I've decided that I really wanna collect pinballs based on fantasy IP." It just feels like there's always more to the games and that they're a super fun experience, and I love that shit, right? So, like, Labyrinth, Lord of the Rings, they look really good side by side. You know what else will look really good next to them? Stern Dungeons and Dragons, which is still it's still on the very, very, very short list of making its way here. Stern Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean? But yeah, fantasy themed games like that. And there's a few older ones too that I wouldn't mind picking up. And those would end up being cheaper too than buying like a brand new game. But then on the other side of the room, nothing but pinball machines that have boobs on the back glass. I'm talking Baywatch. I'm talking barbed wire. I'm talking, is it Paragon? Even Paragon? All those pinball machines that have like some warrior with some half naked girl hanging off of him, like every 1980s book cover and movie poster. Boobies on the back glass on one side, fantasy on the other. So we're gonna have boobies, fantasy. No matter which way you go, the Playboy, yeah, there's like 4 versions of Playboy. I honestly wouldn't mind getting the older version of Playboy, even though the newer one isn't cartoon, it's real pictures. But either way you look at it, whether it's boobies or the fantasy games, it's a fantasy on both sides of the room. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Baywatch, by the way, Baywatch is a super cool pinball game. That Sega Baywatch pinball game. Oh man, I love that game. I would love to own one of those one day. Go get it, Cyber. Who you gonna call? But then again, if they remake Ghostbusters, like if they remade Lord of the Rings, I'd be a little upset about my purchase today. Because you could always get a newer one. And who knows? Maybe they'll make it as good as the original, although there's a ton of shit packed in this game. What was I gonna tell you? But I think now with like The Hobbit being over with, is it Jersey Jack? With The Hobbit being with Jersey Jack, because Stern made Lord of the Rings 20 years ago. Hobbit came out not 20 years ago. The licenses might be with them. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. So I just think the odds are in my favor that they're not going to do a Lord of the Rings, like a new version. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Elvira, of course. I got to get Elvira. Boobies on the backlash, baby. There was, oh man, there was, I think it was an Elvira House of Horrors for sale that I saw online. Wish I could have picked that one up, but it's not scared stiff. Excuse me. Oh, and then Facebook tricked me. Have you guys ever been shopping on Facebook Marketplace? Like you have your city in there, right? Like you type in Phoenix and it says, what do you want to search for on Marketplace? You type in pinball or whatever it is you're shopping for, arcades or whatever. And the stuff starts pulling and you start scrolling. I saw a scared stiff pinball game that was on sale for $9,000. Now, this is another 20-year-old some pinball game that you'd be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. You could buy a brand new game for that. But it's another game that is a classic and the value has gone up and it's highly desired. So now here's the funny thing is all the scared stiffs I've seen for sale have been anywhere from like 11 to 13,000. And you guys know it's like my favorite pinball game of all time. And I saw it for 9,000 and I got hyped. I was like, oh, cool. There's someone selling this shit in Arizona. And then I opened it up and it wasn't Arizona. It was some other faraway fucking state. But Facebook Marketplace does that to us sometimes, doesn't it, guys? Where it just pulls the wrong shit. Like, you're like, hey, I want shit within 100 miles of me. And all of a sudden it starts pulling in crap from across the country. 8,200 in Texas. Let's fucking go. It was so much fun bringing that thing home in my wife's Equinox. Woo! It was a little nerve-wracking for a minute there. Yeah, I got catfish. I had it set. It still pulls the wrong shit, Calvin. It still does. Facebook Marketplace sucks. OfferUp sucks. I've been dealing with some real losers too, trying to sell stuff. I mean, we're talking all the crazies. Hold on, I just got another message. Like, here's the other thing too, guys. If you're trying to sell stuff, don't let the hagglers win because there will always be another customer after that. I've had some people lowballing me on some stuff lately. Like, it's pretty bad. I'm like, can I also get a reach around if you're going to, screw me over? You know what I mean? People are terrible, and every guy who messages me is named Michael B. He's the one. This is a great story. This happened to Goofy Foot. Come by my Stern Jurassic Park. Oh, wait, no, it's Data East Jurassic Park. Yes, it's a dick tease for sure. So yeah, then they threw the reach. Yeah, because you have a couple guys. Like, here's another thing to watch out for too: is the guys who, let's be honest, there's people out there who, to make a living or maybe to make an extra buck, they're what you like to call resellers. And what's funny is back in the day, we had a thing called flea markets. Do you guys remember flea markets? I don't think they're as popular as they are now, but I remember one of my grandmothers, when she retired from her normal career as a businesswoman, and she retired and she's living in her house and she got bored. She got bored being retired. One day she went out and she bought a minivan. So she got this big ass minivan. It was big ass because I was little back then. It was probably like a Honda Odyssey, but still, I was little and, she was little because she was a very short woman and the van was big. All right. I was a little kid back then. But she buys a van and she says, I want to start being a flea market person in her retirement just to make extra money and keep herself busy. So she always had a van full of shit, like all this shit that she would pick up and then she'd try and sell, you know. So the online flea market is interesting because I've had people reach out to me and then I go and I look at I try to vet people's profiles. Like if they say, "Hi, is this available?" I try to vet them to make sure it's a real person and I'm not someone's dicking around with me. And I go in and I see that this guy also is a seller and he is selling like hundreds and hundreds of items. And I'm like, I know exactly what's about to happen. If I respond yes, this guy's going to lowball me big time because when he lowballs me, if I accept, he's going to buy it, immediately take it home, post it, and resell it for a profit. He's a reseller because he had hundreds of shit for sale. Everything from socks to electronics. I mean, this guy was selling everything: toothbrushes, Pez dispensers, crap, hundreds of listings. This is obviously this guy's income. So I said, yes, it's still available. He gave me a very low offer, a very low offer. And I immediately blocked him. I'm such a dick. I'm such a dick. I don't have time for the games, man. It's capitalism, and I'm trying to win the capitalism game. I'm not trying to lose the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. Unopened packages of socks. Crazy. You know? Who knows where? I think sometimes people pick this stuff up at like warehouse. You know how like warehouses will be like, "Hey guys, we have like buckets of returns and it would cost us more money to restock these items. So why don't you all come in and buy this shit real cheap?" Right? And people go in and they buy pallets of shit. So yeah, that's probably where people get some of this stuff, like brand new clothing, brand new socks, stuff that's never been opened. So yeah, crazy stuff, man. But guys, we have hit our threshold, baby. We are right at the ever infamous 1 hour and 18 minutes. You guys have been a really, really fun audience tonight. I just wanted to hop on here and chill and chat with you guys. Got to talk a tiny bit about arcades. We got to complain about AtGames, and we spent a good amount of time talking about pinball. The way I see it, especially with Lord of the Rings, and when I made my social media post that I picked one up, I said, looking at Gandalf, one of my favorite Gandalf quotes from the Gandalf movies is, "All that you have to decide to do is what to do with the time that is given to you." And I'm like, you only live once. You can't take this shit with you. And it's stuff that I know if God forbid something happened to me, I know my wife will be able to sell it and make some money off of it. So it's not like I'm hurting her in any way. It's so funny. I asked her one day, I was like, what would happen to all this stuff? She goes, "Whatever's not in your will to go to your son, I'm getting rid of. I'm selling." All the arcades and pinballs and video games and bullshit, right? Action figures and toys. So, you only live once, guys. So if you're gonna splurge on yourself, if you feel you've deserved it and you're not gonna like lose your home over it or anything crazy, and you could squeak by, go ahead and splurge on yourself, man. Because guess what? You are worth it and you do deserve it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, do me a favor, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's stream, give me a thumbs up on the way out. If you caught this on replay, give me your comments, feedback, reactions below. Hopefully, we'll be back on Multicade Mondays. And maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Is tomorrow Friday? Yeah, Super Game Room Dudes. Maybe tomorrow? Yeah, I got to talk to the boys. I think we're back on tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Tariffs, I guess. You know what I'll do? I'll be like, "Hey guys, tonight's episode of Super Game Room Dudes is about tariffs." And what we'll do is we'll have James Hates Everything come on. I'll add him to the stream. He'll start talking. And have you guys seen that meme with Homer Simpson where he backs up and disappears into the bushes? I'll back up, disappear into the bushes while they're talking about tariffs, and go downstairs and play Lord of the Rings pinball. That's a fucking plan. All right, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you for subscribing. I'll talk to you guys real soon. You guys have a good night.